Oh, my daddy left home when I was 3, and he didn't leave much to mar me. Just this old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. Now I don't blame him 'cause he run and hid, but the meanest thing that he ever did was before he left, he went and named me Sue. Well, he must have thought that it was quite a joke, and it got a lot of laughs. For a lot of folks, it seems I had to fight my whole life through. Some gal would giggle and I'd get red, some guy'd laugh and I'd bust his head. I tell you, life ain't easy for a boy named Sue. Well, I grew up quick and I grew up mean. My fists got hard and my wits got keen. I roamed from town to town to hide my shame. When I made me a vow to the moon, the stars, that I'd search the honky-tonks and bars and kill that man that gave me that awful name. Well, it was Gatlinburg in mid-July, and I'd just hit town and my throat was dry. I thought I'd stop and have myself a brew. At an old saloon on a street of mud, there at a table dealing stud sat the dirty man's dog that named me Sue. Well, I knew that snake was my own sweet dad from a worn-out picture that my mother had. I knew that scar on his cheek and his evil eye. He was big and fat and gray and old, and I looked at him and my blood ran cold, and I said, "My name is Sue. How do you do? And you're gonna die." Yeah, that's what I told him. Well, I hit him hard right between the eyes, and he went down, but to my surprise, he came up with a knife and he cut off a piece of my ear. But I busted a chair right across his teeth, and we crashed through the wall and into the street, kicking in the gouging in the mud and the blood and the beer. I tell you, I fought tougher men, but I really can't remember when. He kicked like a mule and he bit like a crocodile. I heard him laugh and then I heard him cuss, and he went for his gun and I pulled mine first. He stood there looking at me and I saw him smile, and he said, "Son, this world is rough, and if a man's got to make it, he's got to be tough. And I know I wouldn't be there to help you along. So I'll give you that name," and I said goodbye, and I knew you'd have to get tough or die. And it's that name that helped to make you strong, yeah. He said, "Now you just put up one hell of a fight, and I know you hate me and you got the right to kill me now, and I wouldn't blame you if you do. But you ought to thank me before I die for the gravel in the guts and the spit in your eye, 'cause I'm the that named you Sue. Yeah, what could I do?" I got all choked up and I threw down my gun. I called him my pa and he called me my son, and I come away with a different point of view. And I think about him now and then, and every time I try and every time I win. And if I ever have a son, I think I'm gonna name him Bill, George, or anything but Sue. Well, you ask me if I'll forget my baby. I guess I will someday. I don't like it, but I guess things happen that way. You ask me if I'll get along. I guess I will some way. I don't like it, but I guess things happen that way. God gave me that girl to lean on, then put me on my own. Heaven help me be a man, have the strength to stand alone. I don't like it, but I guess things happen that way. You ask me if I'll miss her kisses. I guess I will every day. I don't like it, but I guess things happen that way. You ask me if I'll find another. I don't know, I can't say. I don't like it, but I guess things happen that way. God gave me that girl to lean on, then he put me on my own. Heaven help me be a man, have the strength to stand alone. I don't like it, but I guess things happen that way. How high's the water, Mama? 2 feet high and rising. How high's the water, Papa? Said it's 2 feet high and rising. Well, we can make it to the road in a homemade boat, 'cause that's the only thing we got left afloat. It's already over all the weekly oats, 2 feet high and rising. How high's the water, Mama? 3 feet high and rising. How high's the water, Papa? Said 3 feet high and rising. Well, my hives are gone and I lost my bees. Chickens are sleeping in the willow trees. Cows in water up past their knees. 3 feet high and rising. How high's the water, Mama? 4 feet high and rising. How high's the water, Papa? Said it's 4 feet high and rising. Hey, come look through the window pane. The bus is coming, gonna take us to the train. Looks like we'll be blessed with a little more rain. 4 feet high and rising. How high's the water, Mama? 5 feet high and rising. How high's the water, Papa? Said it's 5 feet high and rising. Well, the rails are washed out in Morton town. Gotta head for a higher ground. We can't come back till the water goes down. 5 feet high and rising. Well, it's 5 feet high and rising. Love is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring. Bound by wild desire, I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 but the flames went higher, and it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 but the flames went higher, and it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire. The taste of love is sweet when hearts like ours meet. I felt for you like a child. Oh, but the fire went wild. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 but the flames went higher, and it burned, burned, burned. The ring of fire, the ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher, and it burned, burned, burned. The ring of fire, the ring of fire, and it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire, the ring of fire, the ring. young cowboy named Billy Joe grew restless on the farm. A boy filled with wanderlust who really meant no harm. He changed his clothes and shined his boots and combed his dark hair down. And his mother cried as he walked out, "Don't take your guns to town, son. Leave your guns at home, Bill. Don't take your guns to town." He laughed and kissed his mom and said, "Your Billy Joe's a man. I can't shoot as quick and straight as anybody can. But I wouldn't shoot without a cause, I'd gun nobody down." But you cried again as you rode away. "Don't take your guns to town, son. Leave your guns at home, Bill. Don't take your guns to town." He sang a song as on he rode, his gun hung at his hips. He rolled into a cattle town, a smile upon his lips. He stopped and walked into a bar and laid his money down. But his mother's words echoed again. "Don't take your guns to town, son. Leave your guns at home, Bill. Don't take your guns to town." He drank his first strong liquor, then took on his shaking hand and tried to tell himself at last he had become a man. The dusty cowpoke at his side began to laugh him down. Heard again his mother's words, "Don't take your guns to town, son. Leave your guns at home, Bill. Don't take your guns to town." Bill was raged and Billy Joe reached for his gun to draw. But the stranger drew his gun and fired before he even saw. Billy Joe fell to the floor, the crowd all gathered round and wondered at his final words. "Don't take your guns to town, son. Leave your guns at home, Bill. Don't take your guns to town." There's a story in our town of the prettiest gal around, golden hair and eyes of blue. How those eyes could flash at you.
How those eyes could flash at you.
Boys were round her by the score, but she loved the boy next door who worked at the candy store.
Dream on, teenage queen, prettiest girl we ever seen.
She was tops in all they said, it never once went to her head. She had everything it seems, not a care this teenage queen.
Not a care this teenage queen.
Other boys could offer more, but she loved the boy next door who worked at the candy store.
Dream on, teenage queen, you should be a movie queen.
He would marry her next spring, save his money for the ring. Then one day a movie scout came to town to take her out.
Came to town to take her out.
Hollywood could offer more, so she left the boy next door, working at the candy store.
Dream on, teenage queen, see you at the movie screen.
Very soon she was a star, pretty house and shiny car, swimming pool and fence around, but she missed her old hometown.
But she missed her old hometown.
All the world was at her door, all except the boy next door, who worked at the candy store.
Dream on, teenage queen, saddest girl we've ever seen.
Then one day this teenage star sold her house and all her cars, gave up all her wealth and fame, left it all and caught a train.
Left it all and caught a train.
Do I have to tell you more? She came back to the boy next door, who worked at the candy store.
Now the story has some more, you'll hear it all at the candy store.
There once was a musical troupe, the pickin' singing folk group. They sang the mountain ballads and the folk songs of our land. They were long on musical ability. Folks thought they would go far, but political incompatibility led to their downfall. Well, the one on the right was on the left, and the one in the middle was on the right. The one on the left was in the middle, and the guy in the rear was a Methodist. This musical aggregation toured the entire nation, singing traditional ballads and the folk songs of our land. They performed with great virtuosity, and soon they were the rage. But political animosity prevailed upon the stage. Well, the one on the right was on the left, and the one in the middle was on the right. The one on the left was in the middle, and the guy in the rear burned his driver's license. When the curtain had ascended, a hush fell on the crowd. As thousands there were gathered to hear the folk songs of our land. But they took their politics seriously, and that night at the concert hall, as the audience watched deliriously, they had a free-for-all. Well, the one on the right was on the bottom, and the one in the middle was on the top, and the one on the left got a broken arm, and the guy in his rear said, "Oh dear." Now this should be a lesson. If you plan to start a folk group, don't go mixing politics with the folk songs of our land. Just work on harmony and diction, play your banjo well, and if you have political conviction, keep them to yourself. Now the one on the left works in the bank, and the one in the middle drives a truck, and the one on the right is an all-night DJ, and the guy in the rear got drafted. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the tie that binds. Because you're mine, I walk the line. I find it very, very easy to be true. I find myself alone when each day's through. Yes, I'll admit that I'm a fool for you. Because you're mine, I walk the line. As sure as night is dark and day is light, I keep you on my mind both day and night. And happiness I've known proves that it's right. Because you're mine, I walk the line. You've got a way to keep me on your side. You give me cause for love that I can't hide. For you I know I'd even try to turn the tide. Because you're mine, I walk the line. I keep a close watch on this heart of mine. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. I keep the ends out for the tie that binds. Because you're mine, I walk the line. You cut out your dancing and you never see a show. Friends come by to pick you up, you hardly ever go. It seems your head is in the clouds above. You've got the ways of a woman in love. I walk by your house at night and hope that I might see the guy who's got you in a spin. I wish that guy was me. I don't know why it's you I'm dreaming of. You've got the ways of a woman in love. Many is the night I stayed awake and cried. Now you'll never know how much you hurt my foolish pride. I recall your kisses, times I held you tight. Now when I come to see you, you're sitting in the light, missing all the things that we dreamed of. You've got the ways of a woman in love. Many is the night I stayed awake and cried. Now you'll never know how much you hurt my foolish pride. I recall your kisses, the times I held you tight. Now when I come to see you, you're sitting in the light, missing all the things that we dreamed of. You've got the ways of a woman in love. You've got the ways of a woman in love.
We got married in a fever, hotter than a pepper sprout. We've been talking about Jackson
Ever since the fire went out, I'm going to Jackson. I'm gonna mess around. Yeah, I'm going to Jackson. Look out, Jackson Town.
Well, go on down to Jackson. Go ahead and wreck your hell. Go play your hand, you big talking man. Make a big fool of yourself. We're going to Jackson. Go comb your hair.
And I'm gonna snowball Jackson.
See if I care.
When I breeze into that city, people gonna stoop and bow.
Ha!
All them women gonna make me teach them what they don't know how. I'm gonna Jackson. You turn loose of my coat, 'cause I'm gonna Jackson.
Goodbye, that's all she wrote. But they'll laugh at you in Jackson, and I'll be dancing on a ponytail. They'll lead you around town like a scalded hound, with your tail tucked between your legs. Yeah, go to Jackson, the big talking man, and I'll be waiting in Jackson behind my J-Pan fan.
Well, we got married in a fever, hotter than a pepper sprout. We've been talking about Jackson ever since the fire went out. I'm going to Jackson, and that's a fact. Yeah, we're
Going to Jackson. Ain't never coming back.